Hello, good afternoon, Tribuners. Welcome back with me, Mutiara, in Indonesian News of Tribun Lampung. We will present you an updating and interesting information from every place in Indonesia. And here, the complete news. The first news is, 1-year-old child dies of acute kidney failure. F was 41 years old as the parents of the 1-year-old H, who was a male baby who died of acute kidney failure. He still has a hard time forgetting his son's departure. F explained this while holding back the tears that seemed to wet his eyes at his residence, which is located on Highway Bekasi Kilometer 17 Jatinegara Village, Cakung District, East Jakarta. F previously didn't expect that his son would go away forever because he explained that H's age was still relatively young. In addition, the verdict on the case of H's death also suddenly shocked F because he explained that he did not have offspring who also had the same disease. However, he was also confused about the disease that must have suffered by his only son. Because F admitted that he received various verdicts from 2 different hospitals when he received treatment. It was previously known that F had left for good in September 2022 and was buried in the East Jakarta area. Before struggling with some of verdicts delivered by the doctor, F had experienced complaints of routine diarrhea and seems to never urinate. Starting from the suspicion, F immediately took F to the nearest clinic to get treatment. Ironically, from several clinics that F met, no one knew the touch. After that, F immediately took action to take his son to the Hermina Jatinegara Hospital and finally got an answer about the disease. So starting from that action, F regularly checks the health of his baby twice in 1 week. Entering treatment for approximately 4 weeks, suddenly H's body temperature became hot and he was vomiting. F admitted that he did not really understand H's overall condition at the time, but when he was taken to Hermina, the doctor directed his child to be treated. The treatment was explained by F for the purpose of intensive identification, as well as intense treatment of his child. F's panic increased when he saw the condition of the appear his son was wearing that did not fill with urine. According to him, every time the child enters the night, traces of urine are often found, but at that time it was empty. The next news is, Barabai River overflows causing flooding in residential area. For several days, the overflow of Barabai River inundated a number of roads and houses in Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency, South Kalimantan. On Thursday, October 27, 2022, another flood came. In fact, the water depth is higher than before, not only submerging the main road but also the houses of residents in the long slab. The intensity of the rain is quite high, falling since Monday, October 24, 2022. This makes the residents of Barabai and other flood-prone areas always worry, especially if it rains heavily at night. Luckily, information from volunteers in the field, broadcast through social media, has been enough to help residents monitor condition in the upstream area of the Meratus Mountains in the Hentakan District, Hulu Sungai Tengah Regency. He also stated that he could not sleep well if it rained heavily at night because he was still traumatized by the flash floods that occurred in January 2022. Although he had anticipated by securing electronic goods and clothing, according to Mary, it made him stressed. The something was expressed by Linda, resident of Aluan Besar Village, Batu Benawa District. Aluan is one of the villages that is prone of flooding. If in the upstream area of the Meratus Mountains, the Hantakan district area, heavy rain secure. As of Thursday afternoon, the skies over Barabai city was still shrouded in black clouds. A number of main routes were submerged, including route Brigadier Hasan Basri Barabai Barat village. The next news is, a woman who is a mugging victim dies. 29 years old LR or Linda Rahmawati, a housewife victim of a mugging in Pademangan, North Jakarta, on the 21st of July 2022, finally passed away on Tuesday, 27th, 2022. Linda died this Thursday afternoon at around 25 minutes past 11 a.m. after suffering a contusion for the past 3 months. Linda's husband, Dodi, said he was disappointed because until his wife breathed her last today, the perpetrator was never caught. Dodi said that since the 21st of July, his late wife had been hospitalized 4 times back and forth due to a serious contusions. In fact, the day after the incident, Linda was hospitalized for almost 2 months in a coma or unconscious. Along with his wife undergoing intensive treatment, Dodi has also been repeatedly summoned by the police from the Pademangan Sector Police regarding the investigation into the mugging case. However, until now, there has been no clear point from the police regarding the whereabouts of the perpetrators. In fact, at the time of the mugging incident, Dodi had time to seize the perpetrators back and secure the identity of the perpetrator. The next news is, container transport truck crashes into a minibus and 3 houses. A series of accidents occurred in Panyalayan, Tanah Datar Regency on Tuesday, the 25th of October 2022. This accident is known to involve a truck, a minibus, and 3 local residents' houses. As a result of this incident, 3 residents' houses were destroyed while 2 vehicles were badly damaged. Head of Traffic Police at the Padang Panjang Resort Police, First Police Inspector Aldi Lazuardi said that the accident occurred because the truck had a failed brake. The exact location of this accident, he said, was at the MTSM intersection known to resident of Simpang Terminal Panyalayan. The truck was driven by R, who was 25 years old, coming from Bukit Tinggi to Padang Panjang. Aldi explained that the truck carrying the container hit the minibus before hitting 3 houses and stopping there. The minibus was dragged several meters from the crash site. First Police Inspector Aldi said there were no fatalities in the accident. Only material losses, the amount of which has not yet been estimated. Currently, said First Police Inspector Aldi, the Padang Panjang Resort Police are recording the vehicles involved in the accident and asking for witness statements. After that, only evacuation efforts can be carried out and securing evidence. The next news is, the perpetrator of the stabbing to a student in Bogor has been arrested. The perpetrator of the stabbing of a Bogor student finally broke his confession after being arrested. To note, the stabbing case of 20-year-old student with the initial T in Cimandala village, Sukaraja district, Bogor Regency had made residents excited. had been a mystery for several days. The figure of the perpetrator of the stabbing was revealed. The perpetrator, whose initials were AD, was 30 years old and was arrested by the police. Bogor Resort Police Chief Police Grand Commissioner Adjudan Iman Imaduddin explained that the stabbing was part of a premeditated murder attempt. The motive for the stabbing was apparently the heart of revenge of the perpetrators towards the victim's mother. The victim's mother is known to be a rice trader and the perpetrator is a parking attendant who both work in the same area, so they know each other. With the motive of being hurt, the perpetrator attempted to injure or kill victim T when the condition of the victim's house was deserted and his parents left him to go to work. The police say that the victim was stabbed by the perpetrator who came to the victim's house while pretending to ask for the identity card data and the head of the family. Meanwhile, the condition of a 20-year-old woman with the initial T, who was the victim of a stabbing, is now starting to improve. The victim has now returned to his house and appears to be able to move without using a wheelchair even though he looks weak. The victim was also observed to have been able to chat with guests who came to his house. The trauma felt by the victim is also now slowly decreasing after previously the victim often felt afraid when guests come to the house. The next news is the verdict against Indra Kents is postponed. All victims are disappointed. The hearing of Indra Kents' verdict at the Tangerang District Court was adjourned until the 14th of November 2022. It is known that the trial, which was held this Friday, was held later than the appointed hour. It was supposed to start at 9:30 a.m., but the trial was only held at 4 p.m. However, the Chief Justice of the panel, Judge Rahman Raja Guguk, decided to postpone the trial of Indra Kents' verdict. With this decision, all participants in the trial were disappointed, because this trial was supposed to be the final verdict for Indra Kents. Launching a live broadcast on TribunNews.com Facebook, a number of victims seemed to vent their anger. After the trial, several victims of fraudulent investment were seen screaming as they left the court area. Quoted from the Intense Investigation YouTube channel, Indra Kents' attorney Danang Hardianto gave his response after attending the trial. His party said the judge was not ready to give a final decision on the Indra Kents case. Danang also said that it was not easy to make a decision. When asked about the adjournment of the trial, Danang said it was already the authority, so Danang could not give a response. Nevertheless, Danang won the best from the Chief Judge's decision. The next news is Youth Out Festival in Riau Island. The governor of Riau Island, Ansar Ahmad, officially opened it. The Riau Island Youth Out Festival 2022 on Route Merdeka, Tanjung Pinang on Saturday, October 28, 2022. Wearing traditional Malay clothes, Governor Ansar, together with the coordinating forum for the Riau Island regional leadership, who also wore traditional clothes from various regions in Indonesia, and a row of youths and women from the Riau Island first carry out a youth carnival from the regional building to the main stage on Route Merdeka. The Riau Island Youth Festival is the main event initiated by the Riau Island Provincial Government to commemorate the 94th Youth Pledge Day, year 2022. Prior to the opening of the festival, The Youth Pledge Day commemoration ceremony was also held at the regional building Tanjung Pinang. When opening the Youth Pledge Festival, Governor Ansar said, "This festival was held to show the talents and abilities of Riau Island youth and women." Getting the term freedom to create, unite to build the nation. The Riau Archipelago Youth Out Festival will be filled with various activities and competition that students in Riau Island will participate in. The Riau Island Youth Out Festival 2022 will be filled with various competitions throughout the day. Among them are coloring competition, drawing competition, TikTok competition, and modern dance competition. The Riau Island Youth Out Festival of 2022 will also be filled with various performances such as acoustic, putri musical, to marching band attraction from various high schools in Tanjung Pinang. There will also be Riau Island Young Carnival, where the carnival participants will wear decorative clothes of various shapes and colors. Governor Ansar at the same time invited the youth of the Riau Island to continue be enthusiastic about proving themselves and developing all the potential in youth. He strongly emphasized that if the future of the Indonesian nation rests on the shoulders of all young, and when the baton is given, the youth must be able to bring the Indonesian nation and Riau Island in particular to be even better. Well, I think that's all the news for today with me, Mutiara. Don't forget to follow us in YouTube Tribun Lampung News Video, Facebook Tribun Lampung, Instagram Tribun Lampung, and TikTok Tribun Lampung for further information. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.